Hello everyone. So today we'll start with module 2, chapter 7, that is essential Hadoop tools. So these are the contents from the chapter essential Hadoop tools using Apache Pig, Apache Hive, Apache Scoop, Apache Flume, Apache Oozie and Apache HBase. First topic is using Apache Pig. So Pig is a scripting language. So the language name is Pig Latin. It is a high-level language which enables the programmers to write complex MapReduce transformations using simple scripting language. So it defines a set of transformations like aggregate, join, sort. It is also often used to extract, transform and load, that is the ETL operations also can be done using Pig. Raw data can be researched. Data processing also can be done. Also Pig uses several usage modes. So we have different modes here like local mode, non-local mode, and also there are some other modes like interactive modes and batch modes. So what is this local mode? So the processing of data is done on the local machine. So that is why it is called as local mode. So whereas non-local mode is cluster modes, so they are called as cluster modes. They're not done on the local machine. The examples are MapReduce and Taze. So these modes execute the job on the cluster using either the MapReduce or the Taze engine. So also we have interactive modes and batch modes. They enable the Pig applications to be developed locally in interactive modes in small amounts of data. Then they run at scale on the cluster in production modes. So if it is an interactive mode, so only small amounts of data are used. If it is a large scale data, so then it is in production mode. So this is an example for usage modes. So we have two usage modes here, interactive mode and batch mode. So local mode, non-local mode, MapReduce mode, Taze mode. So these are the types of modes, Pig usage modes. So the next topic is using Apache Hive. So Hive is a data warehouse infrastructure. So here the language used is Hive query language. So it is also called as HiveQL, Hive query language. So this infrastructure, it is built on top of Hadoop. So mainly it provides data summarization, ad hoc queries and the analysis of large data set using SQL language, like SQL language called Hive query language, which is HQL, HiveQL. So Hive is considered as the standard for SQL queries. So for petabytes of data, so huge amount of data can be processed in this Hive query language. The Hive features, these are the features of Hive, Apache Hive. So it enables easy data extraction, transformation and loading. ETL operations can be performed very easily. Also, it is a mechanism to impose structure on a variety of data formats. Access to files either directly in HDFS or in other data storage systems use HBase. Query execution is done using MapReduce and Taze. It also provides users who are already familiar with SQL the capability to query the data on Hadoop clusters. Also, it makes possible for programmers who are familiar with MapReduce to add their custom mappers and reducers to Hive queries. So custom-made mappers and reduce the number of mappers and reducers can be done by the users exclusively using Hive. The next topic is using Apache Scoop to acquire relational data. So Scoop is the acronym for SQL on Hadoop, that is Scoop. So it is a tool designed to transfer data between Hadoop and the relational databases. It can be used to import data, and export data. So we have two methods here. One is scoop import and the other one is scoop export. So data importing can be done from a relational database management system, RDBMS, into the Hadoop distributed file system, transform the data in Hadoop, and then export the data back into RDBMS. So these are the two methods, that is scoop import and scoop export. Also, it can be used with any JDBC connectivity compliant database, JDBC compliant database. And also it has been tested on Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, MySQL, and Oracle. So here you can see Hadoop import and export methods, that is scoop import and export methods, SQL on Hadoop. So that is scoop import. So here you can see the picture of scoop import. So you can see the first stage in this scoop import is, first the system gathers the metadata. So what is this metadata? So metadata is nothing but data about data. So when was the data set stored, when was the data set accessed, when was the data set modified, all these things are nothing but the metadata. The system imports, gathers the metadata from the storage and then imports the data. So whichever data the user wants to import the data to the HDFS storage and simultaneously to RDBMS. So this is the scoop import, first gathering the metadata, then submitting map only data sets to the scoop jobs, and finally to the Hadoop distributed file storage. So the next diagram you can see here is scoop export method. So in a similar way, again, the metadata is gathered in the first step, and then in the second step, submit map only job, and scoop job, the third step is to export the data set to the Hadoop distributed file storage, processed, and then back to RDBMS. So scoop data import, first the data import is done in two steps. First step, scoop examines the database to gather the necessary metadata for the data to be imported. Second step is, it is a map only, no reduce step. So Hadoop job that scoop submits to the cluster. This job does the actual data transfer using the metadata captured in the previous step. Each node doing the import must have the access to the database. Imported data are saved in Hadoop distributed file system directory. Once when it is placed in HDFS, the data are ready for processing. And the next method is scoop data export. The first step is to examine the database for metadata, that is gathering the metadata. Export step uses a map only Hadoop job to write the data to the database. Scoop divides the input data set into splits and then uses the